What is up, guys? Bob Busker here at ThinkComputers, and I'm going to be showing you the MSI Click BIOS 5 on the MAG Z390 Tomahawk motherboard. Now, MSI has used the Click BIOS 5 for a while now, so it should be pretty familiar with a lot of you guys if you bought a motherboard in the past couple of years. But I'm going to be going over everything and kind of showing you what this BIOS has to offer. So when you load into the BIOS for the first time, you should be in easy mode here. And in easy mode, it kind of gives you all the settings that you might want to set before you install Windows or anything like that. Just makes it easy for just a general user. So up top we have Game Boost, which is like their instant overclocking. It's pretty simple to do. You just click it and it kind of does it. You can enable or disable XMP with this little button right here. Pretty easy to do. And over here we have information on our system and some things that are going on. And we have our boot priority, so you can see all the different boot devices, and you can easily just drag and drop them. It's really that simple. So if you're setting your boot devices, you can kind of do that quite easily. Over here in easy mode, we have information on our CPU, on our memory here, on our storage devices, our fan info here. You can see your fan curves and stuff like that, and you can actually go into the settings. Give it a second to load here, and it will bring up the hardware monitor, and you can set your fan curves and all that kind of stuff if you want. It's pretty easy to do with right in here, and all your different headers that are on the board as well. So it's pretty cool. You can go ahead and do that. And then you have your help, which basically gives you all of your hotkeys. We do have the hardware monitor, which we were just in. You have our favorites, which we don't have anything set in there yet, but you can go ahead and add favorites, obviously. And then we have M-Flash, and what that allows you to do is easily flash your BIOS with a flash drive. So it just makes it super easy if you need a new BIOS update. You have some things you can enable or disable here, like your HD audio controller, CPU fan warning control. You can turn that on or off. LAN option ROM on or off, and BIOS log review. You can go ahead and open that up. Now, those are just the basic settings here. And again, when you're first turning on your system, you want to enable XMP profile. You want to probably set your boot priority, and that's about it. Now, if you want to go in to tune your system or go deep down in, you go to advanced mode up here. You can either hit F7 on your keyboard or just click here. And we go into advanced mode. So they have all these blocks, or tabs that are around the side here. So motherboard settings, we'll go through these very quickly. System status just gives you kind of all of your information. Advanced, this is pretty much everything that's going on your board. So PCI subsystem settings, ACPI settings, integrated peripherals, so this would be like your LAN and your SATA hot plugs and all that. You can kind of see how that's all set up. Integrated graphics configuration, USB configuration, Super IO configuration, power management setup, Windows OS configuration, wake up event setup. And they do offer secure erase, which is nice. If you have an SSD that maybe doesn't come with software from the manufacturer, if you're getting rid of that drive, or you just want to protect data that was previously on there, you can use secure erase here through the BIOS. We'll get out of that, and we'll go into overclock settings. Of course, this is where you're going to go and do all of your system tuning. So we already we have our system overclocked here to 5.1 gigahertz, as you can see. But this is where you can do all of your overclocking. So you're going to set your CPU ratios. You're going to set, if you want Intel Speed Boost on or off here. You're going to set your base clock or your BCLK, all that kind of stuff. You can enable or disable XMP profile here. Your advanced DRAM configuration allows you to set all of your timings for everything you can do here. So you can see all of that. You can do all of your power settings here, like load line calibrations and your over voltage protections and all that kind of stuff. This is really helpful if you're doing overclocking, especially load line calibration. That's something you might want to look up if you're doing some overclocking. And as you go down here, you have your other voltages, CPU or core voltage and all that kind of stuff. We can go into CPU specifications. It says, gives us all information on our CPU and the technology support that it has. Memory Z just gives you your SPD information for your memory. CPU features, so these are all the features that your CPU has. You can enable or disable them, like hyperthreading, active processor cores, etc. You can go ahead and do all that. Now, if you're overclocking, especially this CPU specifically, you might want to change your long duration power limits and your current limits, because most motherboards have set limits in the BIOS by default. So if you are overclocking like we were, it will downclock your CPU if you throw too much power at it. So that's something you might want to change. We have that in our review of this motherboard, as well as our i9-9900K review that you guys can check out on how to overclock. So that's pretty much it for your overclocking settings. Again, everything is in here. All the settings that you would want to tune your system, to mess with voltages, to mess with power settings, CPU settings. It's all in the OC tab. M-Flash, I clicked it, but you shouldn't have clicked it. But this will want you to go into enter flash mode, so you can go ahead and flash your BIOS. We obviously don't want to do that. OC profile, again, this allows you to load or save an overclocking profile. So you might want to, mess with different profiles for different things that you may be doing. And one thing that I did want to mention, we'll go back to OC settings real quick, is that they do have these help and info tabs here. Info just gives you like your voltages and stuff, but help, it tells you about each setting. So like if you're not sure what each setting does, it just kind of gives you some information over here, which is kind of good. Hardware monitor, again, it's the same hardware monitor we saw in easy mode. It gives you real-time information, as well as allows you to set your fan curves. And then finally, we have Board Explorer. This is just a cool thing that kind of gives us some information. Like if we hover over our CPU, we can see we have our 9900K installed. Over our graphics card here, we have an NVIDIA graphics card running at x16 speeds. Over here, you can see what's connected. Our gigabit Ethernet is connected there, USB is connected, just things like that. It gives you some information, and maybe if you're new to motherboards or new to building a system, it allows you to learn a little bit as well. So that's pretty much it with this BIOS. It's super simple. It's very easy to use. They've been using the Click BIOS 5 for a while now, as I said, so not much has changed. So if you have any questions about this BIOS, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. Until next time, catch you guys later.